from Staten Island, who blew up last year with the hit song, WHOOPTY.
New York niggas, ain't this y'all mans? Ain't this y'all mans, New York?
But since going viral, many question his street cred and accuse him of being fake and an industry plant. Let's get into the career and come up of CJ, the wannabe blood behind WHOOPTY. CJ first got the world's attention with his hit song, WHOOPTY, which dropped July 30th, 2020 and peaked at number 10 on the Billboard Hot 100. The track instantly blew up thanks to the hard-hitting beat and viral music video, which showed CJ and his homies posted on the block, rocking red rags and shouting the catchphrase, "WHOOPTY, a blood greeting call." The beat to WHOOPTY featured a sample from the Indian song, Sanam Re. This same sample was famously used in the beat for Exposing Me by Mimo 600 and King Von, which was also remixed by drill rappers like FBG Duck, Ruga, and 22Gs. So, the song became an instant hit because of the familiar beat, generic bars, and catchy hook. Not long after it popped off, people began taking a closer look at CJ to find out if he was really WHOOPTY or just claiming for the clout. CJ grew up in Staten Island and comes from a Puerto Rican family. He started rapping as a hobby when he was 9, but took it more seriously at 14 when he started dropping tracks on SoundCloud and YouTube. He had a few tracks on SoundCloud before blowing up with WHOOPTY, including a song with the OG Fake Blood 6ix9ine called Pop. But none of these tracks made much of an impact online or even in New York.
He was 6ix9ine? New York, y'all got a very New
York City. He self-released the track WHOOPTY in July 2020 using the beat he found on YouTube and became an overnight success. He later signed to Warner Records and Cruise Control Entertainment. But here's where the accusations of CJ being an industry plant first started. The CEO of Cruise Control Entertainment, James Cruz, is also CJ's uncle. CJ said multiple labels reached Cruise Control Entertainment, James Cruz, is also CJ's uncle. CJ said multiple labels reached out to him, but Warner offered the best situation, probably because he had family members in high positions at the company. His uncle James Cruz is a music mogul who has deep connections in the industry. He worked for Reebok in the 90s before making the transition into music.
This nigga's an industry plant? Nah, this is crazy.
And
that don't mean he a plant. Yeah, okay. Hey, CJ, put a red flag on. We gonna make you famous, boy.
Working for Bad Boy.
Yeah, cause listen, man. You know what?
Cruz got close to Puffy and ended up running his entire organization. He worked with Combs Enterprises for almost 10 years before leaving to start his own Latin-focused music marketing firm. So, CJ seemed like the perfect project for his Uncle James, who was looking for the next big Latin star to take over New York. At first, CJ had a more melodic, auto-tune heavy approach to rapping, but this ain't attract much attention. CJ just wanted the clout, and he wasn't trying to spend the next decade grinding in the music industry to make a name for himself. So, he took notes from 6ix9ine's playbook and started making aggressive drill tracks, flaunting his alleged gang ties. To his credit, it worked, and WHOOPTY was one of the biggest songs in New York in the summer of 2020. The track went viral on TikTok too, which boosted its popularity. Plus, it got a major push on radio.
WHOOPTY was not a natural blow-up.
Industry plan
and other outlets thanks to the ties from his Uncle James. So overnight, CJ went from an unknown rapper to one of the biggest up-and-coming stars in New York. But all the attention also brought questions from fans about who this new rapper was, as well as the gang he was from. He's clearly claiming blood from the bandanas and the use of the term WHOOPTY, but the lyrics to the song are pretty basic and don't say what borough or what set he's from. This is when rumors went around that CJ ain't really who he claimed to be and was just
they banging in Staten Island? New York niggas tell me.
Another clout-chasing rapper using gangs to blow up in the music industry. WHOOPTY's not a phrase that CJ made up. It's a common word used in the Bronx by the Bloodhound Brim. CJ crossed the line when he did an interview with Genius where he claimed credit for the word WHOOPTY. He said that it was a term he invented and used with his homies. He even went as far as filing a trademark for the phrase so no one else could use it for commercial purposes. This upset the Bloodhound Brims, who had been using the word for years and wanted proper credit for creating it. Bloodhound Brims founder, LaBrim, even called in from prison, calling out CJ for taking the term and not giving proper credit. LaBrim was sentenced to 30 years in prison back in 2019 in connection to his leadership of the Bloodhound Brims. Even though he's locked up, he still tapped in with what's going on in the streets and had to set the record straight about who really started WHOOPTY. He gave CJ props for making the hot song, but accused him of stealing the word WHOOPTY from the Bloodhound Brims and denies having any affiliation with the rapper.
So first and foremost, CJ made a hot song, but the content that he used, that's not his content. So his foundation is based off a lie. He's not WHOOPTY. He don't know nothing about WHOOPTY. He just seen a fly splash and he jacked it.
He called him out for claiming a set and lifestyle that he and a bunch of other brims are serving decades in prison over. He says the only reason the song was hot in the first place is because of the respect they built in New York, but he's disrespecting the brims by saying he created the word. He makes it clear he ain't beefing with CJ or saying he gonna do something to him, but he had to set the record straight about where WHOOPTY started.
Damn. Niggas don't even respect you as a tough nigga enough to be like, yeah, now I gotta violate you over it. He like, I'm not worried about that little Staten Island nigga, but I'm gonna let you know he didn't make that shit up, bro. The nigga from Staten Island, bro. The nigga like, come on, man. Come on, man.
This hurt CJ's street cred, and after that, more gang members and other New York drill rappers started questioning his affiliations. G5 Reels, a rapper affiliated with LaBrim, also hopped on live to call out CJ for being a fake blood with no ties to the Bloodhound Brims and for copywriting the term WHOOPTY, even though he never put in any work for the set.
First you make the song WHOOPTY, then you make the song Bop. That's all our shit, boy. And you still not trying to pay homage? Then you gonna copyright our shit? You copyright our shit? Like, yo boy, your head not good.
The Bloodhound Brims was one of the most violent gangs in New York before being taken down in a major gang indictment in 2016. They operated in various locations in New York City, as well as Westchester, Elmira, and Pennsylvania. They was accused of trafficking massive amounts of crack, cocaine, and heroin throughout the state of New York and Pennsylvania. A lot of Bloodhound Brim leaders was later arrested in a RICO indictment and charged with crimes that included racketeering, murder, attempted murder, drug trafficking, and assault. The Brim started in Los Angeles, but later branched out to New York in the early 90s. Like most blood sets in NYC, the Brim started in prison at Rikers Island and then spread out to the streets later on. There's multiple Brim sets in New York that make up what they call the Blood Brim Army. During the height of their rise, the Brims was behind a lot of wild crimes that eventually led to their downfall. In 2012, LaBrim and another Blood member named Don P got arrested for a shootout at a chicken spot in the Bronx where they allegedly fired at ops with an AK-47. LaBrim was later found guilty of attempted murder for the crime, which was one of the events that led to his 30-year sentence. In 2014, a Brim leader named Kevin Melton made headlines after kidnapping the father of one of the prosecutors who was responsible for locking him up for life. Melton got hit with life in prison for ordering a hit on someone in 2011. To get revenge, Melton
What?
went after one of the prosecutors who was responsible for convicting him. He set it all up using a cell phone he snuck into jail and ordered 5 members to kidnap the prosecutor, but they ended up going to the wrong address and instead kidnapped her father, Frank Jansen. The gang kidnapped Jansen from his crib in Atlanta, then called his wife and told her they was gonna torture and kill her husband if she ain't followed their demands. But the FBI was able to intercept a call between Melton and the kidnappers and found Jansen at an apartment complex in Atlanta. So the Brims was responsible for a wave of terror, not just in New York, but all over the country.
Oh, yeah,
this eventually led to the indictment that took down many high-ranking members of the gang, including LaBrim. But even with most of their leaders locked up, the Bloodhound Brims are still well respected in New York.
Crazy.
So for LaBrim to make a public statement denying CJ's credibility was a major blow to the rapper's career. Plus, it wasn't just Brim members taking shots at the rapper. Brooklyn rapper 22G's also came out and questioned CJ's street cred. In January 2021, 22G's tagged CJ on Instagram saying, @RealCJ giving me 6ix9ine vibes and boy from Staten Island, the safest borough in NYC.
Damn.
He also dropped a WHOOPTY remix called Goofy, where he took shots at CJ, calling him a groupie who was just jacking the Brooklyn drill sound to make himself more popular. In interviews, 22G's made it clear that it wasn't real beef, but he had to address the situation because CJ ain't give respect to the originators of the sound that made him famous. CJ responded to 22G's with the track Hit Up, where he don't just diss the rapper, but take shots at his entire gang.
See, who be telling these niggas that this? If you not a street nigga, why are you beefing with street niggas? I don't get it.
The Gangsta Disciples. On the track, he raps, "I catch a blicky, man down in my city," referring to 22G's Blicky gang. And in the video, he's seen throwing up GDK, which means Gangsta Disciple Killer, the gang that 22G's is from. So not only is CJ starting beef with another rapper,
So the set you claim you don't really got, and you're beefing with niggas.
he wants smoke with one of the biggest gangs in America too. Another popular Brooklyn drill rapper, Busy Banks, came out and said CJ jacked his bars and stole his whole flow. Busy posted on his Instagram story, "That CJ need to give me my credit, no cap. Jacking my lingo and flow, I'm tired of not getting the recognition I deserve. I started this new wave of drill rap. Let's talk about it. If you listen to the flow and lyrics on Hit Up, it sounds similar to Busy Banks' tracks Neo and Don't Start Part 2. So instead of earning people's respect, CJ was quickly making enemies. In September 2021, 22G's did an interview with No Jumper, where Adam22 reveals that CJ was set to do an interview, but canceled at the last minute. The reason he canceled was because the person in charge of their social media posted something about the beef between him and CJ. So CJ got in his feelings and canceled the whole interview.
We had an interview booked with CJ.
Or
And then somebody on the social media team, they posted up
WHOOPTY.
22G's dissing CJ. They just posted about it because it's notable. It's news. You know, we're paying attention. We were all talking about it in the group chat. So they posted it. CJ interview canceled.
This was another L
Damn.
for the Staten Island rapper.
Is this
Because
new?
he was
Yeah,
in
it
interview to
dropped
tell
today.
his side of the story.
That's crazy, though.
But instead, he chose to stay quiet. CJ never
He's
really
not a
addressed
hood nigga.
accusations that he's false claiming and stealing another rapper's style and flow. He also went and dropped another single that brings the same kind of buzz that WHOOPTY did. He dropped an EP in early 2021 called Loyalty Over Royalty, which was executive produced by French Montana.
Of course French Montana has had something to do with this. Of course French Montana was involved in this shit somehow. Nigga said it all makes sense.
And none of the other
It all
songs had the
makes
same impact
sense.
as WHOOPTY, unless CJ can switch up his whole style
Nigga said, of fucking course it was French Montana.
and come back with a banger that puts him on the charts, would probably just be a one-hit wonder. Just like 6ix9ine, part of his appeal was his gang ties. But once the truth was exposed, fans just move on to the rapper.
But the difference between this nigga CJ and 6ix9ine is 6ix9ine at least really went over there and was like fucking with them niggas. You feel me? Like, he wasn't that originally, but he tried to buy his way in there. He was like, alright, I'm gonna do the rapping shit. I just need y'all to back me. This nigga CJ was like, fuck the Bloods. I'm gonna just take it.
Rappers who really
Nigga said 6ix9ine was really in the streets for real.
live what they rap.
That's crazy.
CJ
Alright.